To what extent is intuition a check on our instinctive judgments? First of all, I need to divide this question into its key concepts in order to furtherly understand it. Intuition. Intuition is defined as the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. Intuition is known as a way of knowing, a way of learning and understanding the world that surrounds us. To have a check on something means to examine something in order to define its accuracy, its reliability, its credibility. I can see it as a measurement on how a statement would be correct or incorrect. And finally, an instinct, defined by the American Psychological Association, is a pre-programmed tendency that is essential to a species' survival. This means that I, as a human, need to have an unknown response triggered by a specific stimuli or feeling. But not just us humans, but animals in general. For example, when I step on my dog's tail, she has a reaction and a response that her body creates. Like, for example, she uses a high-pitched yelp or a whine or a scream, and I know that she, in a way, got hurt by what I did to her. Also, for a human example, when I was like 5 years old, my brother and his friend brought over a motorcycle, and they convinced me into touching the motor engine of the motorcycle because I believed, and they told me that it would be cold and it would not hurt. And I believed them, and I touched it, and it was the first time I got burnt. So I believe I discovered in some way that instinct that my body has, because I have never been burnt before. This is why I personally believe that instincts are created by us, because it involves our thinking and our bodily responses too. But an instinct just a reflex just comes from our bodily responses or our senses. Because of this, I think that intuition is really not a check on our instinctive judgments, because in a way intuition is kind of an instinct also, because we create our instinctive judgments and we have our own intuitions. And if our intuitions are checking our instinctive judgments, we couldn't say that they're gonna be valid or reliable, because we are actually not using any other source of knowing. Or so, as I said earlier, if instinctive judgments are created by us, like, we are the ones that thought that, we are the ones that created that idea, we cannot actually clear them up by our intuition, because that would be kind of confirmation bias. But actually, if we bring up all of the ways of knowing, maybe we could have a check on our instinctive judgments. But for me, I wouldn't use intuition to be the check on my instinctive judgment, since it kind of comes from the same place.